BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you. I'm your Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags. It is week 380. It is what we call Label Week. It is Vestron Week, where we take the week and just take our time and look at this particular label and some of the films and just speak to them and speak to the label really in what you get by purchasing a film from the Vestron series. And for my pick, I decided to run with David Cronenberg's 1975 debut with Shivers. It is a film starring Paul Hampton, Joe Silver, Lynn Lowry from the Crazies, right? Allan Kolman, who probably plays our main protagonist slash antagonist, depending on how you look at it, I guess. And of course, the lovely Barbara Steele. And I forgot, going back and revisiting this film, that both Lynn Lowry and Barbara Steele were even in this film, and so that made it a real double treat. Of course, the Crazies, Romero's original, right? Lynn Lowry's in there. But anyways, part of the Vestron series. I've only got a few of these releases. I've got Dagon, Stuart Gordon, of course, the Waxworks double feature. And Vestron is just like a resurrected label from the past. It's a way of just re-releasing older films and giving them a special attention in terms of transfer, perhaps extras. You know, with this line, I mean, you can either pick them up off of Amazon or other places. Even Walmart occasionally now has bought into the Vestron line, at least a few of them. I've seen Maximum Overdrive in there, Little Monsters I think is in there now. Shivers, of course, I recently picked this up for a measly 12, I think it was 12, 14 bucks off the shelf. And I was surprised. I was surprised that I was a little taken back by the cover art on the slip just a little bit. And come to realize that going through the gallery section, that this was the cover art used in the ad campaign for like newspapers and stuff when they were advertising this film at your local drive-in or theater or whatnot. And it is a Canadian film. Of course, David Cronenberg will begin the process of really starting to work things out in terms of the director he will become. Of course, he is known for body horror, as it will become known as a subgenre, I guess. And it also has the name Ivan Reitman attached to it as producer, who also works with the music on this film. Of course, Ivan Reitman, if you don't know that name, you ought to. Ghostbusters and a slew of other big, huge hits. So I was really shocked to see that he was a producer for Cronenberg in the early days. And so, you know, what do you get with Vestron? Well, here's just a little sample. Here you go. You got some commentaries. One with writer-director David Cronenberg. You also got one co-producer Don Carmody. I think Chris Alexander perhaps is in charge of that one. In fact, Callum Waddell and Chris Alexander have their names on several of the features. Here, and you see him behind me. There is a great interview with writer-director David Cronenberg. One with Lynn Lowry. Of course, one with Joe Blasco, special effects artist, makeup artist. Celebrating Cinepix, you know, who got behind this film, and some archival stuff. Of course, the stuff that I love, right? Radio spots, TV spots, it's theatrical trailer, if I can talk. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom this on Still Gallery. There's some good stuff in there. Right. But as a film, basically in his feature debut, and there goes my lovely Vestron film. Basically, you've got this high-rise up in Canada, right? You got this high-rise near Montreal, and it's a rich community. It's an extravagant community. It's a community that basically is living off the high life of, you know, in terms of the materialism that exists in the 70s. This is it, man. You don't live any better than how you live at this particular high-rise. But what they don't know is there is this doctor who is attempting to create a parasite that will not only be unleashed in this community, this closed-in community, but it has the effect, like an aphrodisiac, it has the effect of turning the sex drive inward and perversing it in such a way that people become extremely aggressive, and even it's pretty horrific actually. And to use something like sex, which generally speaking we tend to view as a very good thing, right? He turns it on his head, and he takes actresses like Lynn, Lowry, and Barbara Steele, man, and he makes you cringe, man. He makes you just not want to have anything to do with this because of the horror that comes with it. And the body, oh, Kolman, man. The body horror, just the contorting, the ability to contort his body in ways that we'll get to see this in other Cronenberg films, really, right? And he loves to just show the human body and in its contorted, perverse sort of just ways that tend to unnerve us and even cause us to turn away or just cringe-worthy. And there are some scenes, man, in this movie when this parasite is, it begins with him basically, this doctor who is basically experimenting on this girl that he has had a relationship with on and off since she was like 12, which is really super, super creepy. There are a lot of weird underlining elements to this film that really do make it pretty creepy. And he thinks he has contained his experimentation to just this girl, but what he doesn't know is she has gotten herself around, and in the process she's spreading this parasite, and it is basically just starting to go through this community. Ron, I think, as I'm trying to think, Allan Kolman, who plays Nicholas, our main protagonist, this guy right here. Him and his wife, their relationship begins to deteriorate quite quick, because he's been infected with the paradise, and so he's, no matter where you go in this community, you start meeting certain people that you'll come to see who have otherwise perhaps maybe have no inclination to do bad things, are going to start doing very bad things. And it's, like I said, it is that is a creepy freaking scene, man. You get this waiter up there who's taking his food to one of the rooms, and man, she's just sort of standing in her doorway, and man, she is just like as creepy as she ends up attacking him. You get these weird, just off the wall images where the people are just becoming psychotic, driven by this parasite to do sexual things that are just so out of the realm of what we would consider anything normal at all. And gender, race, age, this thing knows no bounds. There's one image that just kind of sticks in your mind. You see towards probably about 3/4 of the way in, I think, you see someone holding the leashes of these two little girls. They're basically being, I guess, just being walked around as pets who are acting like dogs. And it's just, it is super, super, super creepy. For a film in there are other films, 75, there are other films, that work on this sort of contained horror to this place that's just ready or waiting to break loose on the surrounding community. I think of The Wild Beasts, that Italian flick, where the zoo animals get infected with that drug and get loose into the city. But there's a lot of movies that are out there where the horror initially is contained and it's wanting to just break out. And so as we're coming to the end of this film, at the very end, it's got an Invasion of the Body Snatchers vibe going on to it as well. And we're going to see quite a few movies like this that are going to come out that just have this this nature of just I don't know even how really to describe it. It's such an off-the-wall movie. If you've never seen Shivers, but you're familiar with David Cronenberg, it's great to go back to the beginning and just see the beginnings of him working things out as a filmmaker. And you go through the extras and whatnot, and you hear him talk about just some of the stories on set, some of the experiences that he had as a director are just uncanny, to say the least. Just funny to listen to. And the extras just make it, a lot of fun. And do just his relationship with Barbara Steele and just how that goes on film and set. And Vestron is just, they're one of those companies that are doing a pretty good job in terms of resurrecting older films and giving them just incredible releases and packing them with goodies. And, you can go in and just really learn about not just the film, but the director and just those who are attached to the film. And there's some incredible stories, man, to be unpacked by just taking some time and digging in to this. And so this is what you get, man. This is what you get. The transfer is pretty awesome. I would say the sound is a little off. It sort of comes in, goes out. It's a little bit higher, a little bit lower. So I'm not sure exactly, but we are talking about a 1975 film. It's hard to get these things perfect, right? So David Cronenberg, man, we'll see some great things from him, man. Whether it's Scanners, of course, man, everything will be perfected maybe with The Fly, but we'll even see Cronenberg go off and do some History of Violence and Eastern Promises, some different things, different collaborations with different people. And now his son, man, his son is into it. And from what I hear, man, Possessor is out of this freaking world. So it is kind of neat to see the son sort of step up into the limelight. We got Oz Perkins, right, son of Anthony Perkins, out doing his thing now. So it is kind of cool, man, that we're getting to see this kind of thing. Be looking for the review for Possessor from James. Will be bringing it, I think, at the first of the year, if you have not seen that film. But Cronenberg, man, the pinnacle of body horror, man. It is some unnerving stuff. And from the very beginning, you're headed towards some very, very bad things. And Paul Hampton, he probably is our main protagonist in this film, just seemingly fated for a bad end. Don't mean to be giving away any spoilers or anything like that, but it is one of those movies that does really, truly begin in a pretty bad place, only to end in a very much worse place. It still works, man. 1975, it still works even today, man. Especially if you got on late at night, everything dark, and just allow yourself to just get into the movie. It works, man. It works. And it's always fun to see Barbara Steele, man, in something, right? Especially sort of more out of her gothic element. Anyways, so that's what I'm bringing today as far as Vestron. Just keep your eyes open at Walmart when you're out, especially when you're out doing your Christmas shopping. Just keep checking out the other reviews as they fall throughout the week. Some awesome freaking titles, man, being dropped in terms of what Vestron is doing as a company. And, they say physical media is dead. Far freaking from it, man. There's too many good distribution companies out there, labels that are doing a really good job of just grabbing old films and giving them their due attention and time back in the limelight, so to speak. So check it out if you haven't seen it, if you've never seen it, or if you have, it's been a while, revisit it. It's worth revisiting. Check out all the other reviews on BodyBags across this channel. Subscribe if you've never subscribed. Drop a comment, hit the like button, do all that wonderful stuff. And of course, man, enjoy December as it continues to unfold. We got winter horror at the end of the month as far as theme week goes. And some good stuff coming, man. Some good stuff. And as always, we leave these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream.